Most money apps are designed for people who already have extra money, extra time, and extra executive function. They want you to categorize everything, build detailed budgets, and track your net worth and investments. But when you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's not your reality. And it's not what you actually need. Felice is a values-based paycheck-to-paycheck personal finance app designed for the 210 million Americans who are just trying to make it to their next payday without a crisis. Instead of rigid budgets and judgment, Felice gives you compassionate, real-time clarity that's built on your actual pay cycle and what matters most to you. When you first set up Felice, you're not asked to build the perfect budget. You simply tell Felice when you get paid, what your essential bills are, and what kind of breathing room you want to have. Felice then organizes everything around your real paycheck period, not a calendar month, so the numbers you see actually match how your life works. On payday, Felice treats that moment like a reset. The previous period is archived into your time capsule, a snapshot of how that paycheck cycle went, your spending pace, your emotions, your cushion, and your Felice score. Then your new period begins with fresh numbers and a simple question: how do you want this paycheck to take care of you? At the heart of Felice is Felice Funds, your safe-to-spend amount. This is how much you can safely spend in this pay period without jeopardizing your bill payments or debt obligations. Felice calculates this by looking at your income, your fixed expenses, and what you've already spent. If that number ever goes negative, Felice doesn't shame you. It simply moves you into damage control mode and helps you make a plan. Instead of forcing you into dozens of rigid categories, Felice separates your life into just two big buckets: fixed and discretionary. Fixed expenses are the bills that must be paid: rent or mortgage, utilities, minimum debt payments, and anything that keeps you housed, fed, and connected. Everything else flows into your discretionary Felice funds, the money you can actually make decisions with. Rather than budgeting every dollar months in advance, you simply tell Felice about upcoming things you already know are coming: that vet visit, a weekend trip, a big grocery run, a birthday, or a car repair you're expecting. When you add planned spending, Felice quietly protects that money out of your Felice funds behind the scenes, so you can see what's still truly free to use. That means when you look at your safe-to-spend number, you're not guessing. The bills are covered, the upcoming plans are set aside. What's left is what you can spend without fear. From there, Felice introduces planned spending. Just open the log expense form and check the box for planned spending. It will deduct the money out of your safe-to-spend amount so that it's protected for that purpose and you immediately know what's left. When the real transaction is imported from your bank after it happened, delete the planned spend so there's no double counting. Easy as pie. As you go through your days, Felice helps you build what we call the effortless buffer. Ghost savings that accumulate in the background without you having to think about it. Every time you spend, Felice can round up your purchases and lock the spare change away into a protected buffer. You don't have to move money manually or constantly decide. It just happens. That buffer becomes breathing room, a little cushion between you and the next crisis. And if you ever really need it, Felice makes it easy to tap into that buffer through damage control, instead of swiping a credit card in panic. Felice also knows that money isn't just math, it's emotional. Inside the app, you can track the feelings that show up around your spending, your bills, and your decisions. Over time, Felice builds a financial DNA profile from your behavior: how often you review your transactions, how impulsive your spending is, whether you give yourself time to pause, and how consistently you check in. All of that rolls up into your Felice score, a 0 to 100 snapshot of your financial well-being that has nothing to do with your net worth or credit score. It's a real-time behavioral score based on 10 factors like spending pace, check-in streaks, mindful spending pauses, impulse control, crisis cushion strength, planning ahead for payday, resilience after setbacks, and how aligned your purchases are with your values. Instead of chasing a number that feels out of reach, your Felice score gives you small, achievable wins. You're rewarded for behavior that keeps you safer, not for already being wealthy. When temptation hits, Felice gives you tools to slow down without shaming yourself. The Can I Buy This tool lets you test a potential purchase against the reality of your paycheck. You can see how that one decision affects your money for the rest of the period, including whether it pushes you into the danger zone or risks overdrafts. If you're not sure, you can send it to your wish list instead of your cart. Felice will remember the thing you want, set a waiting period, like 14 or 30 days, and then gently ask you later, do you still want this? Or has your priority changed? This helps you break the impulse spend cycle without relying purely on willpower. At the center of your safety plan is your crisis cushion, your emergency fund that Felice translates into weeks of survival. Instead of just a dollar amount, Felice tells you how many weeks of essential bills your cushion can cover if something goes wrong. As you grow it, you can literally watch your runway extend. There's also a dedicated debt page that visualizes how extra payments and new loans affect you. You can see your balances, interest rates, minimums, and what changes if you pay a little more, even when that little more doesn't feel like much. Felice connects the dots between today's choices and tomorrow's breathing room. Because your future matters too, Felice includes future casting. You can plug in different income scenarios or debt strategies and see how they would change your discretionary money, your debt payoff timeline, or your savings progress. You don't have to build a spreadsheet or run complex formulas. Felice shows you the impact in plain language. And when life really does go sideways, job loss, medical emergency, or a major crisis, you can activate crisis mode. Felice automatically strips your finances down to survival bills and shows your survival runway, how long your money will last if you only pay what truly keeps you afloat. In crisis mode, Felice doesn't just show the numbers. It also supports the conversations you might need to have. Inside, you'll find hardship scripts, templated negotiation language you can use when calling your landlord, utilities, or creditors to ask for help, request payment plans, or explain your situation. You're never left staring at a blank screen, wondering what to say. All of this lives inside an experience that is intentionally calm. The interface is clean and focused, with soothing colors and no sensory overload. Felice doesn't yell at you about overspending or pop up red warnings for every small mistake. The language is compassionate, rooted in the reality of living paycheck to paycheck, and designed to help you feel safer, not scolded. Felice was named after Felicitas, the Roman goddess of happiness and prosperity, a symbol of joyful abundance and the peace that comes from security, not just luck. In Italian, Felice means happy, and that's the whole point. Your money should make you feel more happy and more held, not more ashamed. Felice wasn't built by billionaires or by a massive bank. It's the brainchild of a regular person with a regular job who needed something better, and a small team that knows what it feels like to live this reality. We can't solve inflation, the wealth gap, or the cost of living, but we can give you tools that make the money you do have feel safer, clearer, and more aligned with your values. Our mission is simple: happier paychecks, made simple. No more obsessing over investments you don't have yet or net worth charts that barely move. Just clarity about survival first, support in building a little breathing room, and gentle guidance toward choices that make your life feel better. If you're tired of feeling alone in this, Felice is for you. Join the millions of people living paycheck to paycheck who deserve financial tools that actually match their reality. When you find Felice, you're not chasing perfection. You're finding a calmer, kinder way to live with your money.